Federation for the senior staff committee to be set up. I have a copy. Now, you created an impression that this letter mandated you to reinstate minor. That's the committee. I want you to go through the letter and point out to us any paragraph or line in this letter that mandated you to reinstate minor. The only thing I've seen is that you should reconsider. There's no language saying that you should reinstate him. If there is any, please direct us properly.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, recall my earlier statement that nobody has power to to appoint, discipline, and promote. The ministry never reinstate minor into service. It is the Federal Civil Service Commission that the Constitution mandated reinstated minor and sent a copy of that reinstatement to my office. The process started very long time before I arrived to the ministry as permanent secretary. On my arrival, the meetings, the SSC meetings, everything has been concluded. The only role I played was to pass the report to the office of the head of service, which I did. And when minor reported to the ministry, he did not report it to me. He came and reported to Director of Human Resources, who was then retiring, and that day was the last day for the Director of Human Resources for retirement. While I was in the office, he said, minor has reported. I said, look at what I gave you. File and deal accordingly. Bring him to my office. I said, minor, I cannot assign you, I cannot take everything from you till I inform the office of the head of service, which I directed a letter verbally to be written to the head of service. And the content of that letter, actually, I did not know because I left sick. I was in the hospital 7 days after that letter was sent to the head of service. When she called me, she asked me, she saw a letter which she can't remember that she directed us to take any action. I requested her to allow me go to office on Monday because I was sick to look at that content of the letter. When I saw the reference the reference letter was quoted wrongly, I quickly write a letter apologizing to her that the letter was quoted wrongly by the person I directed, because usually when we direct a letter to be written, we vet the letter. But that time, as I was going, I was sick. I couldn't wait that letter, but I put emphasis that head of service must know that day. From that day, I went to hospital. And when I was out, she called me. I asked her to allow me to go to office on Monday to confirm to her if anything went wrong. On reaching office, I realized the reference letter I made to inform the head of service that he has assumed duty was a letter sent to Federal Civil Service Commission. And I quickly replied to her, apologizing that that reference letter was. But sir, service is an institution. Whatever happened in the process of this, minutes, whatever, the permanent secretary is the head of service, is the head of administration. I'm here to take responsibility. Whatever Interior has done wrongly in accordance with the way administrative matter has been taken to the end of this matter, because I cannot reject it. I'm the permanent secretary, head of admin, sir. I take responsibility for any administrative wrongdoing that the Interior has done as permanent secretary of that ministry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. My question is directed at the Attorney General. Honorable Minister, I am lost for words, really, because it looks like I am repeating basically the questions I asked last week, Thursday. Because in the heart of this matter is all these letters that you seem to be disowning right now. I want to take us back a bit. What prompted the letter to the Federal Civil Service after so many years of Mena's dismissal? Was there a letter, was there a complaint that your office got that led to this? If so, can we get a copy of that letter? And again, I'll go back to these letters because I find it very, very difficult. Because maybe for the general public, they don't know. But for some of us here that are lawyers, you are one of the most powerful people in this country. One of the most powerful people in this country. You can decide who's tried in this country and who is not tried, nolly prosecute. You and I know that. That a line officer in your office is writing letters that you are not aware of. And these letters are going out. And the civil service were responding to these letters. Because we have so many of them. I don't know if I can, I don't know waste the time of this committee. The one by Mrs. Nuratu Batagarawa, dated 20th April. And even the one the civil service also replied in March 3rd. Bottom line, the civil service, the letter dated 21st June 2017, chronicled all the series of correspondence between you people that led to their letter. So I am lost for words to ask, really, that you really want us to believe as a committee that you didn't have knowledge of those letters. I know we have asked some of these questions before. And to also put it to you, that you know Section 101 of Evidence Act allows us to compare your recognized signature, previous signatures, to the signature in these letters that went out. You are a law officer, I'm sure you know all this. I will stop for now, I'll come back.
Chairman, just a right. Yes, sir. Attorney General, like he actually said, because we hold you in high esteem, that's why we are narrowing down heavily on you. And sincerely, the origin of this whole thing appears to be the letter. That is the bone of contention. Now, can you give us a copy of that suit which Maina filed against Senate, which is the basis of your interpretation? And then the claims, did he actually claim for reinstatement? Because that's our worry. From what you have said here, the suit is between Maina and the Senate. The civil service is not a party. I know that you as Attorney General, you can come in such suits, but did he actually claim for reinstatement that warranted this advice? And you also didn't throw more light on the difference between yourself as Attorney General and the office because of these letters which, accepting without conceding, you were not in the know of, but came from your office, so that will guide us in our advice to the House.
I think before the Attorney General respond, let the Controller General of Immigration, there was a question for him, so let him just.
Thank you, Chair, and honourable members. The question raised was it possible for Maina to have two nationalities? Yes. Every Nigerian who is a Nigerian by birth, not a Nigerian by naturalization, has the right to acquire another nationality. And that's why Maina at the time had 3 passports, and they were all valid. We are Nigerian by nationality. We have no other nationality. We are entitled to official or diplomatic passport, which we call green or blue, plus the green, which honourable member has, red passport and green passport. So Maina had blue passport as official, but expired 2015. Also has, at the moment, he has a valid Nigerian passport, which will expire 2018, and a valid US passport, which will expire 2022. So he has 2 valid passports, and they are okay. About his travel, since he was intercepted 27 September 2013 at 1400 hours, when he wanted to go to Dubai, we didn't see him at our land or recognized borders, land, air, or sea. I'm not saying he has not traveled. It's possible he traveled. But I have said that if he is found to have traveled by evading immigration officers, it's an offense by law. Even if you arrive at Nigeria not through recognized port, you are mandated by our Immigration Act 2015 to report to immigration officer. If you don't report, it's an offense. If he had appeared before us after 2015, because the EFCC vacated the stop order for him to travel in 2015, which I have tendered the letter. After 2015, after the vacation, if he has